For more information regarding Microsoft Webcast, be sure to visit us at www.microsoft.com/webcast. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to today's Microsoft Momentum Webcast. Without further delay, let me hand the floor over to our presenter, Jeff Lowe. Take it away, Jeff.
Thank you so much. I'd like to again welcome everybody to our webcast, Microsoft Business Intelligence Solutions for Mid-Sized Businesses. Let's talk about what we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about the state of business intelligence, the market today. We're going to talk about who uses business intelligence, Microsoft's vision. I'm going to share a little bit about our integrated offering, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about our product roadmap, because there are a couple things that are coming down the pipe that I think are critically important as you identify and look at business solutions around reporting and information and performance management that Microsoft is bringing to the marketplace that we believe will give companies greater insight and amplify the impact of their people to make better business decisions. So when we talk about business intelligence today, there's some challenging issues that many companies face when we talk about getting information and getting the right tools, the right people, and the right set of things all to come together at the right time so you can make solid business decisions. So when we think about empowering the enterprise around reporting, the first business pain is there's no common set of tools for all end users. When you think about business intelligence, you think about performance management, you think about how you get reports delivered today, and then you think about your existing systems. There's a great thing I'd like you to think about. I'd like you to consider for a moment where you get your data and your information. And then as you think about where you get your data and your information, how other people in your organization get the data and the information as well. A lot of companies, as you'll come to the conclusion, you think about it, use a variety of tools, a variety of systems to get access to the data and information, and there's no solid way to do it across the enterprise. A couple years back, I had the opportunity to be sitting in the corner when some consultants were doing a business review with a home health care company. And one of the questions they asked one of the financial analysts at the company was simply this: how do you work on your information? How do you do your complex calculations? How do you understand your transaction data and your information? And then how do you make your reports off of it? And one person said, oh, that's easy. We download all the information out of our Oracle financials. We put it in a spreadsheet. I slice it, I dice it, I chop it up, and I give everybody each their own piece of the spreadsheet. Then I email it out, and I wait for everybody to do their part, and then I bring it back, I consolidate it all, and I upload it back into the system. When we talk about business intelligence, we talk about common challenges that organizations face. One of the biggest ones is there's no common set of tools for everybody, so what do? You export that information to Microsoft Excel. Just about everybody, when we talk about finance, we talk about business intelligence, we talk about reporting, has some knowledge, some expertise, some skill around being able to manipulate Excel. And then there's some folks who are power users who can do the pivot tables, the data bars, all kinds of complex reports that give them better access to the data and the information. Another challenge that most organizations face when we talk about empowering the enterprise to make solid business decisions is you need information delivered to everyone so they understand how it impacts success. Did you know that 95% of employees who go to their jobs today do not understand the impact that their role has on the organization? They have no way of understanding that if I complete these set of deliverables, this is the overall impact that my set of deliverables will have on the company today. It's no wonder that sometimes you have a lot of high call-outs of people who call in during the summertime because they don't understand the impact of their role and how it connects to the overall picture to the company. And when they do finally figure out how it is, it's much, much too late. And then we've got another pain around business intelligence. You pay for more than is needed. There are really two sets of tools in the marketplace today around business intelligence. The first set of tools give you all the cool key performance indicators, those KPIs, the dashboards, all the metrics, all the reports, everything you need to have at your fingertips to make solid business decisions around how you manage and run your organization. But those tools cost anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 a user, take a lot of time for implementation, take a lot of back-end work to get everything to come together to bring the data and the information, and generally used by executives because of the high cost of the tool and the high cost of implementation. On the flip side of the coin, you've got another set of tools, that what we call the low-end business intelligence tools. Very low cost per user, but it doesn't give you the rich, robust functionality. It doesn't give you the ability to connect to multiple data sources. And in some cases, it doesn't give you access to real-time data and information. When we talk about business intelligence, you want solutions that give you the right information at the right time, at the right format, across the entire organization. Because let's face it, business intelligence isn't just for executives. It's not just for middle managers. It's for everybody across the organization. Think about the impact of having business intelligence in the shipping receiving office. When Sam in shipping understands that if he ships 50 more boxes instead of going home at 4:30 and he stays till 5, the impact that those 50 boxes will have on the bottom line revenue for that period of time. Think about the accounts receivable person, or think about a salesperson who has a dashboard that when they're calling on customers in their personalized dashboard, they see a report for the top selling items in the last 30 days, and now they've got an opportunity to cross-sell a customer based on the data and the information that they see. Business intelligence isn't just for executives. It's across the whole gamut of the organization, providing the right information at the right time so it helps people understand the value that they can get in the enterprise from business intelligence. What's Microsoft's vision for business intelligence? It's simply this. We want to improve organizations by providing business insights to employees, leading to better, faster, more relevant decisions. We want to be able to do that by giving pervasive business performance. In other words, we want people to know how their business is performing in real time. We want them to be able to understand by simply clicking on a report, by simply looking at key data and information, that they can drive the improvement of their business by having access to data and information in real time at their fingertips. The second thing that Microsoft wants to do around our vision for business intelligence is we want to implement a complete and integrated business intelligence solution offering. When I talked about business intelligence earlier, I talked about some of the challenges that your organizations face. One of the challenges is around tools, getting the right set of tools. But not only that, getting the right set of pieces and infrastructure tools in place so that you've got a solid offering not only at the desktop, but on the server side of the business. It's great to have business intelligence, but it's also better when you can share the data and the information across the organization. What else does Microsoft want to do around business intelligence? What are some of the other things we want to do? We want to deliver widespread intelligence through Microsoft Office. We want the Microsoft Office system to be the tool that gives us the ability to drive forward the access to the data and the information. Why would we want to use the Microsoft Office system? It's very simple. First of all, there are over 650 million people worldwide who use the Microsoft Office system today, be it Word, be it Outlook, be it PowerPoint. And not only that, the average information worker who has Microsoft Office deployed on their desk, they spend somewhere between 4 to 6 hours a day working in the Microsoft Office system. What's the value to you? Well, it's going to be familiar. And what that means is it's going to give you the ability to have access to the data and the information because it's going to be in a format and in a place where people can access the data and information in ways that make sense. One of the challenges that a lot of organizations face around business intelligence tools is not only the deploying of the tools and the right tool sets, but also the costs associated with it. So instead of having to invest in a new infrastructure, a new set of tools, now you deliver through the Microsoft Office system where people have a high level of familiarity, you improve performance, you get that solid, keen business insight, but you drive down the amount of time that they spend trying to learn how to use a system and the application. The other thing we want to provide is the right information at the right time. We want to meet enterprise needs with affordable economics. How do we do what we call our integrated offering? Well, this is what it looks like. This is our integrated offering when we start talking about Microsoft and business intelligence. And you see at the bottom here, we have a variety of data sources and places where your data and your information is stored. If you see at the very bottom of the slide, you'll see something there called Microsoft Dynamics. What's the value with Microsoft Dynamics? It's Microsoft's platform for business management solutions. When we say business management, I'm talking about applications that help your organization run. We talk about back office transactions, such as financials. We talk about other things, such as distribution, shipping, manufacturing, and of course, customer relationship management. A lot of people are not aware that Microsoft has a pervasive platform around business management. But not only that, we also recognize that a lot of organizations have made a strategic investment around key tools such as Oracle. We recognize that we're not the only vendor in the marketplace. We're not the only platform provider. There are other folks that you can do business with. And the value that Microsoft brings when we talk about our integrated business intelligence offering is that we can connect to not only Oracle, we can connect to SAP, we can connect to Siebel. As long as the data stores and the information, the place we're getting the data information, uses standard communication tools like ODBC, Open Database Connectivity, or XML or web services, we've got a good opportunity, a good chance to access that data and that information to be able to provide the widespread, pervasive business intelligence. So we start at the bottom with your data. We start with your information, with your connections, and being able to pull it all together. How? Because Microsoft is the #1 provider in the marketplace today of being able to connect disparate systems and data operations across the organization. Nobody else can make that claim to fame but Microsoft, because we can bring it all together for you. So maybe it's a homegrown system that you've developed that's important and valuable for you, that makes sense for you, but maybe it might not be within another organization. We can get the data, we can get the information, we can pull it out of the system, and we can leverage it for long-term value. Maybe it's a database. Maybe it's even an Access database. Wow. Yep, we can get it from there. Not only from that, we can pull it from other places. We can pull it from text files. We can pull it from websites. We can pull it from emails. We can pull it from documents. We can pull the data from both structured and unstructured places. Because let's face it, in your organization, data resides in 2 places. 20% of your data is in the line of business applications. The last 80%, which is the most important piece in some cases, is at the employee desktop. At Microsoft, we want to unlock the location of data. We want to improve business productivity. We want to use our business offering around business intelligence to be enabled for you to be able to do that. If you look at our BI platform, it's built on SQL Server and SQL Server reporting services to leverage a robust database platform. But not only that, there's other tools and capabilities that we've built in the SQL Server that I'm going to talk about a little bit later on that add even more increasing value when you start talking about business intelligence and its value that it can bring to the organization. So I've done a fair amount of talking. At this point in time, I'd like to go ahead and give a brief demonstration of Microsoft's offering around business intelligence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share out my desktop here. I'm going to click on Share Application. I'm going to share my virtual PC here. I'm going to click on OK. And so shortly, what you'll see there is a screen. And I'm going to increase the size of the screen there. And what you're seeing here is the AdventureWorks corporate intranet. So imagine that you are a C-level executive within this organization, and you come in and you sit down at your desk, you boot up your computer, and this is the first page that you see when you open up the web browser. It's key data and information based on the role that I have in the organization as an executive. I can see there's a new vice president of product development. I can see the summonses of the products. I can also see that we just won an award for our mountain bike. I can also see that I can search for people. I can choose tasks. I can see events that are going on. I can do an employee lookup. Why are we using this interface? What's the value of what we're doing? We want to improve business-making decisions and business productivity. Employees spend 25 to 33% of the time looking for data and information in the organization. When we have things like employee lookup, we have the ability to drop down and search AdventureWorks, the site, or for people. We improve business productivity by giving people the opportunity not only to search for data and information, but for the people who have the knowledge behind the data information and the business process to improve productivity. We've got a document center here that has key documents and information, but let's cut straight to the chase. As an executive, we want to see the things that are driving forward an organization. We want to see the things that are helping us be successful. We can see there's a quarterly executive review. We can see Northwind Traders competitive analysis. But I want to go even further. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click on our scorecard for company-wide initiatives. And what this does is it gives me a scorecard view of how we're doing in some key areas that I've outlined for the direction of our company. So we can see we're doing improvement of Salesforce effectiveness. We're working on driver-based budgeting. We're talking about the North American marketing campaigns and research and development. And our progress here is measured by the data bars. You see the little yellow tab here. It says we're at 100% on new opportunity creation process. We're at 50%. Control spend, we're at 100%. So you can see as I go down the line, I can get percentages as to where we are in the process. Increasing project communication, we're still at 50%. We're also reducing new product issues. As I go through and I check our initiatives, I can go in and I can check our scorecard on sales, and I can find out how we're doing in terms of our sales. And you look here, we've got the office scorecard view. Not only do we have the scorecard, but we've also got a pivot chart over here that shows me the data information. I can see the information. If I highlight over here and I click on it, I can get a note that gives me updated information from Business Scorecard Manager. During the first quarter, our projected sales came in lower than expected. Initial research suggested a major marketing campaign during this period did not resonate strongly with customers. So I can see in real time how things are going and who owns those projects, the people. But not only that, I can see areas where we may be lacking. So if you see the financial metrics here, gross profit, not doing as well as we should be. If I go to my executive here, my scorecard again, I click on warehouse and shipping. And as you notice, as I click on each of these scorecards, I might get a different view or I might get a different metric. If I go to my next one, I click on information technology, you'll see here, instead of having the pivot table, I've got the CEO default, and what I've got here is a surface map that measures the effectiveness of how the organization is performing. When we talk about business intelligence, we want to provide the tools, we want to provide the keys, we want to provide the capabilities to give people the understand to connect and to understand the value of the data and the information. I'm going to go to finance here, and I'm going to click on the analytical view. Why the analytical view? Because it's pretty neat, some of the things that we're going to be able to see about the performance of our organization. You can see here the analytical view. You can see a specific report here. When I click on the bikes, I get the sales amount. If I click on Europe, I get more data. And as you notice, as I click on each one of these, I get more data and information about how we're performing in this specific report. If you look down here at the bottom, this is a decomposition view based on percent of gross margin. I have the ability to drill in each one of these. And then if you look over here, we've got a plot chart. On the far side, you can see that we've got the sales amount, we've got the percent of gross margin, and we can see different data points along the way that point to our effectiveness. And then, of course, we can see the scorecard here, gross profit margin, gross profit, sales, and average unit price. Since I'm a manufacturing executive, the area of most importance to me is manufacturing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on manufacturing. And when I click on manufacturing, it brings up the three key areas of performance management that my organization is focused on, because I know if I can get increase in throughput, decrease in inventory, and decrease in operating expense, all moving in a positive direction at the same time, I've got the tremendous opportunity to impact the growth of my business. So as I look here and I come through my page, I see that constrained resource throughput margin isn't performing like we'd like to. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click into that because it's red. And again, we get the percent of gross margin decomposition table that appears. And I can click down on any one of these components, from accessories to components to bikes, to get more data and information. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on bikes. And what it brings up percent of gross margin associated with mountain bike, touring bikes, and road bikes that makes up the bike percentage of gross margin. If I want to understand about mountain bikes, because as an executive, I like to mountain bike. I like to get out and ride the hills to clear my mind. And I scroll down, I can see that's the Orion 4 500, the Orion 4 750D, and the bottom three make up the percent of gross margin around our products, specific to mountain bikes, all the way up to bikes. Not only can I see percent of gross margin information as it relates to increased throughput and customer strain throughput margin, I can also check on inventory velocity, because I know if I can sell my inventory faster, if I can move my goods faster, if I can get my inventory goods into process faster, I make the accountants happy, which means I'm selling more and I'm increasing my revenue. So let's drill into inventory velocity, this performance metric, and let's get some intelligence behind why we're not doing so well. So when I open up my increased velocity here, you'll notice that I get an office report view, and what it's done is it's opened up an Excel spreadsheet right inside the page here. So as I think about my overstock inventory here, I can scroll across, I can see all the data and the information, and I can see in real time the places where things aren't going well. And it's this warehouse here. And when I click on warehouse, it opens up the data and the information, and I can scroll down, and I can see the overstocked inventory, and I can see the things that are good, and I can see the things that are bad. For example, the 24X CD-ROM, not so good. But you know what? I need more data. I need more information to help me to get greater insight. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open a copy of this spreadsheet. I'm going to click there. I'm going to open it in Excel. Now I can open a copy of the complete workbook in its current state, or I can open a snapshot. The difference between the two is this. If I open up a copy, I've got the opportunity to refresh the data just in case it's changed in the window of time since I've opened this file to the time that I've gone ahead and brought it down to my desktop versus just making a snapshot. It's just the static state of the data. But we want to go ahead and open it in Excel, and we're going to go ahead and click on OK. And what we'll find is it brings the same information and data that was out on the executive side around manufacturing. It brings it to the desktop. So now I can look at it. I can scroll down with it. I can see the data and I can see the information. I can see that the handset bottom's not doing so good. I can see the handset multi-line is doing horrible. And I can see all the places where inventory velocity is being impacted. I can even change the fields report on. I can take out quantity allocated. I can take out quantity on hand. I can even take out quantity on order and add those items back in. I get the ability in real time to see the data and the information that makes sense for me in my role within the organization. But when we talk about business intelligence, we also have to talk about the ability to get access to data and information. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close this file here. I don't want to save the changes. But I do want to create a new report because there are times when there's data that's key and valuable to me that might not be reflected in other places within the organization that I might possibly want to share with some of my direct reports. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on New here. I'm going to create a blank workbook. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and I'm going to pick a data source that exists within the organization. So what you're looking at here is the new user interface for Office 2007 as it relates to Excel. And we've gone away from the menus and we've gone to tabs and contextual tabs because a couple things you told us as customers. You told us that the software and the application had rich functionality, but it was buried so deep in the menus that you couldn't get to it. The second thing you told us is that once you got to it, you wanted to understand how to use the information. So when I click on the Data tab right here, I see all these different places where I can get data information. If I click on Access, what happens is you'll see it says Get External Data from Access, and if I want to get more help about this specific feature, all I need to do is press 1. But you notice I can get it from Access, from the web, from text, from other sources. I'm going to pick Existing Connections. These are connections of data information that have been set up by your IT team or working with another Microsoft certified partner to help define your data and your parameters around business intelligence and performance management. So I've got the AdventureWorks data collection library, but I'm going to browse for more here. I'm going to go to my data connections. I see that I've got Fabricam Inc. I want to go to inventory. I'm going to open up inventory. And now I'm going to look at the back item inventory items. So I'm going to click on the items quantity back order. I'm going to open it up. And now it asks me, do I want a table? Do I want a pivot table report? Or do I want a pivot chart and a pivot table report? So for my purposes, I think a chart and a table are valuable because there's some people who just like to see the numbers. And there's some people who say, just show me a picture so I can cut to the chase. So I'm going to click on the pivot table report here. I'm going to click on OK. And now it brings up the data and the information that I can use to quickly build this pivot table and a chart. So I'm going to click on item description. I'm going to click on item back order. And I'm going to click on quantity order. And I'm going to take the values down here. I'm just going to rearrange them to make more sense of them just for me. And you'll see here just quickly through a couple clicks, I've gone ahead and I've created a pivot table and a chart that makes sense to me, that shows the sum of quantity on order and the sum of quantity of items that are back ordered. So I can get real-time visibility into inventory velocity. Now that I've created a report, I want to share it with other people in the organization. Why? Because it's not just good enough for me to have it. I want to make sure everybody has access to the data information so that they can have the same insight into the information that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Office button up here. I'm going to publish it using Excel services because that gives me the opportunity to publish it. I'm going to publish it in the reports library here. When I click on the reports library, I'm going to open it up. And I can see here some existing reports that are already out there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save it as an inventory backordered items report. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this report. Now, it asks me a couple questions. Do I want to do a dashboard page, or do I want to do a report, or do I want to be a report builder report? In this case, I just simply want the report because I want to be able to get to the data and get to the information in real time. I'm going to click on OK here. And now what it's doing is you'll notice that it's now publishing that report to the website. It published it in a web page in the same information, the same data, so somebody else can access it. I'm going to click on my report here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close it because I'm done using it. I'm going to go back to my home page for manufacturing here, and I want to go ahead and I'm going to go to the reports library. And when I click on the reports library, you'll see that the inventory backordered items report that we just created, it appears here. So I can go ahead and I can click on that. I can view the history, but I want to take it one step further. Why? I want to connect this report to Outlook. What's the value? Not only do we want to get better business insight, not only do we want to have the data and the information at our fingertips that makes sense for us, at the same time we also want to have the opportunity to get the right data, the right format, and the right time. So by connecting this to the Outlook, I'm going to give myself the opportunity to see the data information whenever it's updated, and I'm going to get it delivered to my inbox. So I'm going to connect to Outlook. I'm going to click there. It's opening Outlook 2007 for me. Brings me to the page, and I do not want to enable the search feature. Not for today. That's a different webcast, a different time. I do, however, want to connect the SharePoint document library to Outlook. I'm going to click on yes and OK, and you can see it's downloading all the reports to SharePoint, from SharePoint to my Outlook right now, and you can see that all of the reports are there. You can see the inventory backorder items. It's appeared as well, so when I click on it right there, I open it up. I can see the report right there from my box as well. I'll enable the previewer for Office. And as you can see, as I click through the various reports, alrighty. Well, generally what happens on the average day when I do this demonstration, it gives you the chance to see the report that I've created right inside of the Outlook window. So what's the value for you? Instead of having to worry about being at a different place, at a different point, at a different time, you can have the report delivered right to the Outlook window, so you see the same data and the same information. So that information that I published in the report library, that data, that information that you saw right here on this site, it gets published right inside of the Outlook window. So you've got the right information, the right data, and the right time to make solid business decisions. So with that, we're going to go back to our presentation that we just talked about. We're going to return to the meeting console here. I'm going to go back. And we're going to talk about the things that I just showed you. So right before we went into the demonstration, I talked about SQL Server being the Perversive platform. But what I showed you was Excel. I showed you a lot of other things in terms of reports, dashboards, and Excel workbooks. I showed you scorecards. I also showed you plans, and I also, in some cases, showed you different pieces of the parts of Microsoft's integrated offering around business intelligence. Let's drill down and specifically talk about each one of those. So first of all, we want to talk about Office SharePoint Server 2007, a single entry point for all of your information. Why is this critical for you? One of the biggest challenges you face in your organization is how do you share data, how do you share information, how do people see the right data and the right times so that you make solid business decisions? Well, the value that we have here with Microsoft and our offering is that now with SharePoint, you've got the chance to publish that data. You've got the chance, the opportunity to publish that data information so other people have the chance to see it and use the data and the information in real time. So a couple things here. First of all, publish from Excel. You notice that I was able to publish from Excel services and put it right up on the web page. I was also able to publish it so it could be viewed in the Outlook window. A couple other things, you were able to see the dashboards. You were able to see some of the charts and the graphs that were embedded right in the page so people could get a graphical experience about what was going on with the performance of the organization. Not only that, we've also got the ability to have the secure sharing. You want to be able to have the right information at the right format and the right time. But just important, you want to make sure that people don't have access to the data and the information. It's not valuable to them. With a new age of compliance, with a new age of more people needing clear visibility into the organization around trustworthiness and making sure you meet the different standards depending upon the industry, or maybe you're a public company, or maybe you're in the healthcare industry. There's standards around data and information and security. We've built in several pieces into the SharePoint experience so that we make sure that if the role is not right, they don't see the data, they don't see the information, they only see what's valuable to them to help them make the decisions based on their role in the organization. Not only that, we talk about Excel services. Not only publishing from Excel, but being able to create fully interactive worksheets, pivot tables, and charts without any coding. One of the biggest challenges you face in the organization is IT resources, the ability to get help from IT to be able to see data and to be able to see information. The challenge is that they don't always have time to get you that data and the information. Think about how many times you needed a report from the IT department and you wanted to see the data and you needed to see the information, but they generally didn't get it to you right away because reports fall at the bottom of the list for IT responsibilities. Think about using Excel services to be able to get access to the data, get access to the information, and give you the right view of the data that makes sense with you creating it on your own and without having to rely on IT, and now you leverage Excel services to be able to get there and accomplish that task. The other part about SharePoint is it's key and it's valuable. So first of all, there are 3 flavors of Microsoft SharePoint in the marketplace today. So first of all, there's Windows SharePoint Services 3.0. That's what I classify as SharePoint for me, myself, and I. And what that means is it's a smaller offering of SharePoint based on giving you the ability to just get your toe wet in terms of getting a flavor for SharePoint and what it offers. So when we talk about Windows SharePoint Services, it just takes up this green spot right here if you're looking at the standard edition. It only takes up what we call Documents, Tasks, Wikis, Blogs. It's what I call SharePoint for me, myself, and I. It's for me and myself and being able to share other key information with people in the organization. When we talk about Microsoft Office SharePoint Server 2007, it's more affectionately referred to in the marketplace as MOSS, we talk about giving more capabilities, more value. Everything that was in SharePoint Portal Server and everything that was in Content Management Server and Document Management and Records Management. Let's face it, you have a variety of platforms, a variety of tools in your organization that you can use for content management, that you can use for records management, that you can use for publishing data information to the intranet, to the intranet, and to the extranet. Microsoft wants to provide a pervasive platform that can solve a variety of those challenges in publishing the data and information around business intelligence and performance management. So not only is it about collaboration, it's about a portal, an enterprise portal template. In other words, the ability to take a template and then leverage that and replicate it several times. A site directory and my site. This is so important. We at Microsoft tremendously leverage the Microsoft Office SharePoint Server technology within our organization. How do we do that? Well, we've got this huge site that you can go in. It's an MSW, and it's got a search box at the top of it. If you're looking for a specific document or a specific piece of information, most of the time, a lot of people have posted the data and the information to their My Site. So if you need them and they're out of office, you want to still get access to the data, information, and knowledge, you can type in the data you're looking for, and what SharePoint does is it searches across all the sites internal to Microsoft and brings back the sites that are relevant to what you search for, and a lot of times it's going to be a My Site, somebody's own personalized internal SharePoint site they've built within Microsoft. Not only that, we've got enterprise scalability and contextual relevance in rich people and business data search. It's not just about being able to quickly search for the information. It's also finding the right data, the right information that makes the most sense for what you're searching for. It's great to be able to find data, but if it has no relevance to what you're looking for, you continue to search until you find what you're looking for. With Microsoft Office SharePoint Server 2007 and our integration with business intelligence and performance management, we're now giving you the tools to not only search the intranet and the internet if you so desire, but also the ability to search across the line of business applications within your organization. So maybe using SAP, maybe using Oracle, maybe using IBM's DB2 as the foundation for a custom developed application. With SharePoint Search and the features built into Office SharePoint Server 2007, you can search across a variety of those mechanisms to bring back the right data and the right information in the right format to help make a solid business decision. And of course, we've got content management. And then we move on to what we call Microsoft Office SharePoint Server 2007 Enterprise Edition. The pieces you need to move from a knowledge collaboration portal to an enterprise application portal. Everything you need from collaboration to search to business forums, to being able to gather the information over the web or gather through a forum, to business intelligence. Server-based Excel spreadsheets and data visualization, reports, web parts, KPIs, and dashboards, all the things that help to take the data and information that either is locked in the employee desktop or locked in line of business applications and then put it up and empower people to be able to go out, make their own reports, get their own key information and their own data to be able to amplify the impact of what they make on their business. So when I was going through my demonstration just a few minutes ago, SharePoint Portal Server 2007 was the foundation of how we were publishing all that data information. The second thing I showed you was Excel, Excel 2007. New powerful analysis tools for up to 1 million rows of data. For all you power users out there who happen to have the opportunity to have 1 million lines of data, we've got a product for you that is Excel 2007. Not only the ability to have more data, but also conditional formatting, enhanced sorting and filtering, and the data connection library. During my demonstration, you saw how quickly and easy it was for me through a couple of clicks to connect to a data library. Not only that, the data and the information can be quickly refreshed by clicking on the refresh button that's built in Excel. So we also want to give you not only tools, but we also want to give you the ability to make decisions off real-time data and real information at the same time. And of course, enhanced filtering, and then you can pivot table against SQL Server analysis services. So now you can analyze the data and the tools with greater support for SQL Server analysis services. SQL Server Analysis Service is a great tool for slicing, dicing, chopping, and viewing the data and information to get greater business insight.
Hey, Jeff.
Something else that was key to the demonstration you saw is the technology that we've got in our TAP program right now, our technology adoption program, where customers have the opportunity to try out a technology before we bring it to the marketplace. It's Performance Point Server 2007. So when you saw those three areas that I was trying to work in, inventory velocity, decreased throughput, and increased operating efficiency, those are three areas that are in Performance Point Server that give you the ability to capture metrics around specific line items, dump all your data into a SQL Server repository, map all the information, get your partners or your IT department to make sure you get the data sources connected, and then you put Performance Point Server on top of it with its key metrics, KPIs, and scorecards to be able to get the type of information that I was showing through that demonstration. So things like the key performance indicators around increased throughput, the key performance indicators around the different data and information that you saw. Those are things that are straight from Performance Point Server. So when we talk about it, it's the ability to deliver performance management in the Office tools that people know. So you get the full Office experience, you get the complete perspective, and it's easy to personalize those scorecards. So we start with SharePoint. You can publish it through Outlook, and you leverage Excel, and you get the ability to have finance, operations, sales, and HR to have greater visibility and insight into the performance of the organization leveraging this tool and this technology. So how did exactly we come up with Performance Server 2007? Well, it's fairly easy. We made an acquisition of a company by the name of ProClarity in May of 2006, about a year ago. They were a solid partner of ours around analytics, report writing, and business intelligence. So since they were a great partner and they were a great fit for us, we acquired them. Of course, also we've got Microsoft Office Business Scorecard Manager 2005. Actually came out in 2004. A great foundational product around those key performance indicators, those dashboards, and those scorecards. Microsoft identified a long time ago that there was a gap in the marketplace around business intelligence and key performance indicators and metrics and things of that nature. So what we did is we went to the Business Scorecard Institute and said, hey, Microsoft would like to come to the marketplace with a technology that will simplify the way people get performance data and information using KPIs and business scorecards. And so they gave us the parameters. We used their parameters, developed it, and then took it back to them for certification, rolled it out to the marketplace as Business Scorecard Manager. And then, of course, we've got BizSharp that brings all of these technologies together to create Office Performance Point Server 2007 around scorecards, analytics, and planning, a complete solution for monitoring, analyzing, and planning the performance of your organization. Of course, this discussion would not be complete without a discussion of SQL Server Analysis Services. This is the enhanced OLAP, online analytical processing, and data mining capabilities. From unified dimension modeling to KPI framework to BI widgets to data mining, you can see some of the capabilities that we've built in as the foundation for the data layer for Performance Point Server, for business intelligence, and performance management to get you the type of insight that you need to help your business run more effectively. Not only that, we've got also SQL Integration Services with the Enterprise Data Integration Platform for metadata management, for development productivity. It's an extensible architecture, and it's enterprise data integration. It's not just about Microsoft, and we recognize you have other technologies that you leverage, but use Microsoft as the foundation to bring all the data information in, and then use our tools to be able to get you the business insights that you need. The reality of it is many of you have made strategic investments, and you can't turn on a dime from those technologies that you've invested in. But you do want to see the data. You do want to see the information that's embedded in those systems. Export it, put it in SQL Server, take it out, put it in, let us slice it, dice, and chop it, and use our platform to give you the visibility that you want to see. And then just importantly, the ability to get presentation quality enterprise reporting. It's not just about the data, but it's the format in which you publish it. In some cases, you've got sophisticated users in your organization who need the access to the data information stored inside of SQL Server. A lot of our tools are point and click. We've even got a browser-based version that allows you to generate and create and pull reports straight from the browser right into the browser screens that people see the data and the information at a format that's good for them to help make solid business decisions. A little earlier on, I talked about business intelligence, and I talked about performance management, and I talked about the people that it's valued for. It's certainly valuable for executives. Why? Because number one, it helps accelerate the decision-making process. It gives you business insight to flexibly change business conditions, and it's aligned, it's accountable, and secure. When we talk about business intelligence, executives face a couple of challenges. Sometimes it takes 6 months to you guys a plan, sometimes it takes 5 weeks of budget, and sometimes it takes 2 weeks to develop a forecast. I'm sure you're aware of this, but 92% of organizations make their planning around some type of calendar activity, be it semi-annual, be it quarterly, or be it monthly. Only 8% of organizations out there today make their planning around real-time data and information. I know you are interested in performance management. If you're an executive or you're representing an executive from your organization, I know that business intelligence is important because it's going to give you the insights that you need. Not only that, I believe business intelligence and performance management is extremely important for information workers. Why? They contribute to the overall performance of the organization. They're responsible for the step-by-step tactical delivery that helps things get done. But at the same time, they need that user-flexible environment. They need to be able to communicate as a part of the process, and they need to be able to modify those reports without IT. But the challenges you face today as well. You spend half the time collecting and validating data rather than analyzing and planning. Microsoft and our offering around business intelligence and performance management addresses that. And of course, just importantly, you want to support IT in their goal to minimize the impact of the business on them, but at the same time give end users the tools they need to be successful. They want to reduce the complexity and maintenance. They also want to empower businesses to improve performance, and they want to provide access to information at the same time meeting the compliance process. When we talk about our offering around business intelligence, we talk about our solutions and our capabilities. They're designed to meet the executive, the information worker, and the needs around IT to adequately amplify the impact of people in the organization. Microsoft, it's called the People-Ready Business. We found out a couple of years ago that it was your people that were in your organizations that decide, discover, collaborate, and act on the data and information. Microsoft's role in that process is to give you the right information at the right time in the right format to amplify the impact that people have making decisions in the marketplace. We know that you have other people that you can do business with, but we believe that we make a tremendous investment in research and development. We also believe that our solutions are simple and easy to use, and just importantly, we've got a wide network of partners, support people, and developers all around the world who are heads down committed to supporting, deploying, developing, and managing applications on the Microsoft platform. A couple other things. We've got a SQL Server Service Pack 2 and the Office system. We've got some specific tools that are designed for Office and performance and reliability around SQL Server with the Service Pack 2. And of course, we've got the data mining add-in for Office Excel 2007. I'd like to give you a brief summary. So the Microsoft Foundation for Ubiquitous Business Intelligence is now in place. I'd like you to try and say that fast 5 times. AMR Research 2005. We've got a complete integrated BI offering. We do widespread delivery of intelligence to the Office system, and it's enterprise grade and affordable. If you need more information, go out to Microsoft.com/BI. I'm going to put up the slide for question and answer. I'm going to turn it back over to our moderator. She's got some more steps and information for you as we enter the question and answer phase of our time together today. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Jeff. Before we get over to questions, I want to make sure that you get a moment to fill out our survey, and if you do, you'll be automatically entered into a drawing to win a Microsoft Zune. So without further delay, let me put the survey up on the slide here. Click on one of the two links there in the middle, and that will pop up some survey questions for you to respond to. We definitely want your feedback before you log off. Okay, with that, back over to Jeff to see what questions have come in.
I'm going to click on the question manager here. This is Mike. He said, I'm going too fast. The screen refreshes too slow for us to see. Sorry about that, Mike. This is Bill Walter's question. In addition to the tools for organizing and presenting data, are there tools for optimizing business decision in terms of selecting the best transportation decisions, the best assignments of product and resource to manufacturing facilities, and other typical business decisions, tools like linear programming, modeling, etc.? So, Bill, the answer to your question is yes, but there's a specific set of other Microsoft technologies that we can bring to bear to help you get there. So, for example, you said you want to optimize business decisions in terms of selecting best transportation decisions. You can use Microsoft Live, we can use some of our MapPoint products to help make those decisions. Around the best assignment of product and resource to manufacturing facilities, that goes out to our Dynamics platform, be it Dynamics GP, Dynamics AX, or Dynamics Nav around manufacturing and helping you to make that business decision based on the data and the metrics and the information that you're able to gather. And other typical business decisions like linear programming, modeling, etc., those types of tools and capabilities are in Office Performance Point Server 2007. The value of the Microsoft stack is they're all built on the same common engineering platform. So what that means is it's easy integration, point and click, and the ability to talk to other technologies to get the type of information in a one-stop shop. Here's a question from Gary. How much effort to set all of this up first? Gary, that's a great question. It depends on the amount of data, the amount of data sources, type of KPIs, type of information, type of data you want to be able to see at the end of the day. So I would recommend that you work with a local Microsoft, maybe a partner account manager, or your local partner to help understand what it would look like to set it all up. In one scenario, so if a customer is potentially already using Microsoft Dynamics GP or Microsoft Dynamics Great Plain as their business management platform, and they acquired Business Portal and Microsoft Office SharePoint Server 2007, the combination of these three things would make this type of solution able to be set up rapidly because Business Portal has already built in key performance indicators, dashboards, and metrics that connect back to Dynamics GP that leverage Microsoft Office SharePoint Server 2007 so that all you've got to do is map the right data and information in to be able to publish the data and information to be able to see that. All righty. Any other questions out there? Any other questions?
Well, Jeff, it looks like you've taken care of everybody. If there are no other questions coming in, we can go ahead and wrap up. Any parting words?
I'd like to thank everybody for their attendance into our webcast today. There are other webcasts from Microsoft that are critically important around SQL Server, around Microsoft Dynamics, our business management platform, that I would highly recommend you take the time to go out in the sea and to use so that you can get greater information around Microsoft and our ability to provide a pervasive platform around business intelligence and performance management.
With that, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the audio portion of our webcast. If you've dialed in, you can go ahead and disconnect, but we do hope that you'll stay logged in and take time to complete the survey currently on your screen. We'll see you next time.